All right, so we are a few minutes after. I'm going to go ahead and get it started here because we got a lot to get through, and I want to provide you the opportunity to ask some questions on the platform as well. But welcome everyone to the vLex Fastcase member benefit presentation in partnership with the Connecticut Bar Association. Super excited to be in front of you here again. We previously have done a training session for your bar, but we're back again to do another presentation, and I'm excited to get into it. I'll introduce myself. My name is TJ Diggins. I am the customer success representative with vLex, specifically on our alliances team. So I work with a lot of our bar partners across the US to ensure members such as yourselves have the education and resources they need to successfully navigate in the vLex Fastcase platform. So think of me as a personal resource to you. If you have any questions or feedback, I would love to communicate with you. I've probably already communicated with some of you, but hopefully for a lot of you here, it will be a refresher on how to work the ins and outs of the platform. But for any of those who are first time joining us and getting into the platform, we'll start from the very beginning. So no worries there. Now, I did want to provide a little bit of background first on the vLex name and Fastcase and how these two came together back in April of 2023. So looking at our mission and origin story, these are two trailblazing companies, both vLex and Fastcase. And although they originated in different parts of the world, we share a common mission, and that is to democratize access to the law. And we want to revolutionize how attorneys engage with legal information. And you know, both not just people with successful practices, but or deep pockets. The law should be accessible to everyone. And while our mission was aligned, the challenge still remained for us. How could we bring that vision to life? And the answer we found was in the heart of the legal community, our bar partners. Whether it's local, specialty, or state, bar partners are the unifying thread that connects attorneys across the globe. And by partnering with these associations, we found the perfect channel to reach legal professionals everywhere. And if you fast forward now over 25 years later, we have over 3 million attorneys worldwide with direct access to their country's legal resources thanks to this strategic partnership. And this is where you as bar members actually come into the story. Our mission is not just about providing you access. We want to empower you by putting the law directly in your hands. So today we invite you to become a part of that journey, a journey that started with a shared vision to democratize the law and continues with you at its center. And speaking of journeys, we'll look at our agenda here very quickly, just so you can have an idea of what we're going to get through. We'll start with the member login, where you can go to gain access to the platform. Then once we're in the platform, we'll highlight the resource center to cover all of the helpful tools and resources you can utilize to educate yourself in the platform. Then we'll look at our search features, how we can conduct general searches through our general search bar and the advanced search feature. And I'll highlight our organizational tools throughout the platform. We've got some tools on a couple of different pages that you can access and utilize. So I'll point those out for you. And then we will get into a document level as well. So we'll get into a case and see what we can do from there. And then at the very end, I will leave about 10 minutes or so, hopefully for some questions, depending on how quickly I can get through this information. So feel free to go ahead and ask questions at any point. You can enter those through your questions channel at any point throughout the presentation, and I will visit those questions once we get to that period at the end of the presentation. So for now, let's go ahead and jump over to the Connecticut Bar website here. We'll go over to ctbar.org. And firstly, wanted to thank the Connecticut Bar Association for being such great partners to us. We've had a long-standing positive relationship, and we look forward to continuing that moving forward. But again, just huge shout out to the bar. They've made it very easy to find vLex Fastcase and get into the resource platform right here from the bar webpage. So you can, once you've logged in, if you click on vLex Fastcase here, you will be directed straight into the research platform. You can also click on under quick links to vLex Fastcase, And if you haven't already logged in, it will take you to this page and just ask you to go ahead and log in with your member credentials. Now they have also provided you a link here on the BAR website to find a little bit more information about vLex Fastcase and this trainings in particular, and additional helpful information here. So definitely recommend checking this out, and you can actually access the platform from here as well. Now, if it is your very first time logging into the platform, back in December, we've actually defaulted the logins to go straight into the vLex Fastcase platform rather than our previous version, Fastcase 7. So once you do log in, you will now land here on the new platform. And if it is your first time logging in, this will not actually be the very first screen you see. There will be a pop-up message that asks you to create your personalized account, and that will just ask for your name, your email address, and a little bit about your practice area, so we can customize the account to you specifically. But then once you've completed that, it takes less than a minute to complete, very quick. You will then land here, and this menu will actually open up for you, and it'll kick off your journey with our guided tours. So if it is your first time, it'll just have you go through these click-through tutorials. They are not required, and we will be going through a lot of these today, so don't feel like you have to complete this whenever you first log into the platform. You can dismiss this checklist at any time. Now, moving down here, we've got some additional guided tours. So any new features or new materials that we're adding to the platform and we want you to know how to operate that, we will do our best to add some additional guided tours here. And in addition to the guided tours, in my opinion, the best way to learn the information in the platform is going to be through our knowledge base webpage. So from here, we can go to the knowledge base section and just search for general helpful information. Maybe we want to look up how to run an advanced search. What we can do is type advanced into the search bar at the top and then find the most relevant article for what we're looking to learn more about. If we give these articles a click, that will actually open up our knowledge base website for you in a new tab, and you'll be able to then read about how to operate that specific feature. We've got some screenshots here, some quick clips, and additional information. And at the very bottom, we've actually provided a video walkthrough or a video tutorial on how to operate that feature as well. So a great resource here for you to utilize and set yourself up for success whenever you're navigating new features in the platform. And I also want to mention over here on the left-hand side, we've got a full table of contents for any of the different features in the platform for you to navigate to and learn more about. Moving back to the platform here, we'll return to our general resource menu. And then underneath knowledge base, you may have come across our training sessions linked here. We've got some general trainings that are open to all BAR members across the US, in addition to the BAR specific ones. So similar to the one that we're doing today, we are offering a general overview webinar. So this one here at the top that covers all of the introductory materials and how to generally navigate and search within the platform. But then we are also offering an advanced searching webinar that's a little bit shorter format, so just targeted training to help you learn the efficient ways to search for content in the platform. And these are hosted on different dates and times, so we have a few different options. If you click on these links here, you can register for any of those different dates and times. And then at the bottom here, we've got an enhancing your vLex Fastcase benefit. So there are some tools and content you can include, upgrade your account to in the platform here that are not in the base Connecticut Bar Association plan. And I will cover a little bit of that information, specifically what is included in the BAR plan, since that is what the focus is for today. But if you wanted to learn about how you can upgrade a different tools and content, this would be a good presentation for you to watch. Now, as we go back here, we've also got some video tutorials linked down here, and these are just some general ones to help you get started searching and setting up your account in the platform. But we actually have all of our vLex videos linked down here at the bottom as well. So that takes you to our Vimeo page where you can find all of our vLex videos. Now, down here at the very bottom, we have some contact information. It's important you have the ability to reach out to us if you have any questions or issues whenever you're navigating in the platform. So if you give the envelope a click here, you can actually find our support team's email address, and that is helpdesk-us@vlex.com. You can easily come and copy this and then create a new email message to us and provide a little bit of background about what you're experiencing or what your issues are in the platform. And our support team will do their best to get back to you timely. Now, we do have a US-based support team. They're spread out across the US. And their general hours are 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, not including any holidays. Now, one additional way you can get in contact with us if you have questions or issues when you're on the platform is through our chat feature here. So in the bottom right corner, if you want to initiate a chat, just click this icon. And that will open up a chat window that begins with some automated information. So it'll ask your name, your email address, and a little bit about the issue that you're experiencing or the information that you're looking to find in the platform. And that'll just help our support team member, once they log into the conversation, to efficiently be able to answer any questions and begin a conversation. So again, just some guided tours here at the top. And then all of our guided tours through that section, the knowledge base and additional training materials and resources, and our contact information in the resource center. So we'll go ahead and minimize that for now and then move into the vLex Fastcase platform here. I'm going to begin our journey with some consistent features that will remain present no matter what page we navigate to throughout the platform. And that's going to be the navigational bar here on the left-hand side and the search or general bar at the top here. And I'll begin by explaining this information generally, and I will go into more detail on some of these tools later on in the presentation. So currently we're highlighted on the home page. You can see what that looks like. But then we have our Vincent AI tool here. And although the Vincent AI tool is not included in the Connecticut Bar Association plan, it is a very powerful tool. And if you want to learn more about that, please join us for one of our webinars on that tool or reach out to me with questions. And if we have time, you can ask those in the chat here, and I will do my best to answer those at the end of the presentation. Now, next to the Vincent AI button is our advanced search tool. And this is a form fill search, so a great way to get very granular with your research and find that particular material you're looking for. So we will do an example of the advanced search section. And then browsing. So browsing is quite easy in the platform. I'll go ahead and show you how that works now. So if you click browse, you'll then be able to pull up either by jurisdiction or jump right into our content libraries here, depending on what you're looking for. Maybe we want to find the most recent Connecticut statutes. What we can do is go straight to statutes and then find our jurisdiction we're looking for, and even select which edition there is. As you can see, I'm just generally browsing down into a specific category here to easily find the information that I'm looking for. Now, if you come across a larger section such as this one, you can easily use the search bar up at the top here to find information related to what you want to find. Just simply type that information and then it will populate the most relevant code section. Now, at a certain point, you will come to the end of the page, or excuse me, end of the road, I should say, for browsing in the this section here, and that's indicated by this marker. So anytime you see this indicator here, this just means if you click on this, you will now be directed straight into the document level itself, or to a list of documents that falls under this code section. And the arrow is you can continue to browse into additional sections or subsections there. But say, for example, we wanted to find this, we could go straight into the code section here. And maybe we wanted to continue browsing. We could simply go hit the back button here, and that will open up our browse menu again where we were searching. Now, continuing on here, underneath browse, we have our folders section, and this is where your organizational tools come into play. You can create folders for yourself. Any saved documents will also land here in the folders section, and we will go into detail towards the end of the presentation on the folders tab. And then a general help button here. You have the ability to provide your feedback to us. Definitely recommend providing your feedback. That's the only way we can continue to improve our product with feedback from our users. And then another link to our knowledge base webpage. And then as well as our help desk information here. And then down at the very bottom, we've listed the Connecticut Bar Association here because we wanted to remind you that you're receiving access to this platform because of your membership with the Connecticut Bar. And they have provided you with a fantastic plan level, the vLex Fastcase United States Core Plan. And what that means is you have access to all 50 states' primary materials, so cases, statutes, regulations, constitutions, etc., as well as federal content. So all 50 states and federal primary materials, that's thousands of documents for you to be able to research here on the vLex Fastcase platform. All right, so that's the navigational bar here on the left-hand side. And moving into our top bar here, we'll start with our history icon. And this is similar to Fastcase 7 if you were familiar with that platform. But you can expand the history icon here and see exactly what you are searching at any specific date and time. So you can pick up right where you've left off if you've logged out of the platform, if you've had to pause for any reason, maybe you've got a deposition or hearing to get to, but you can jump right back into search results or even straight into the document level and go back as far as you would like. Now, next to our history icon here is our general search bar. And this is acceptable for normal language. So if you want to use any sort of normal standard language to run a search for content, you can do so here with the general search bar. But it is not limited to just general searches. You can enter citations here. You can enter case names. And actually, you can even use Boolean operators as well. So we'll get into the advanced operators and Boolean operators once we get to the advanced search page, but just wanted to note that you can use those advanced operators once you've learned those, because they are a little bit different to other platforms. And I'll actually show you where you can find a cheat sheet of all the advanced operators you can use on the advanced search page. But next to the general search bar here is our jurisdictional selector. So right now I have selected Connecticut, but if it is your first time, since you have access to the full United States library, it will default to United States. So if it was your first time logging in, it would list United States here. But if you click on this menu, it'll open up this jurisdictional selector for you to then be able to select your specific jurisdiction you want to search within. Now, we are providing you the option to apply and save this jurisdiction as your default. So maybe we always only wanted to search the Connecticut jurisdiction. We could select that and then apply and save as default so that anytime we run a search, it will populate information from within the Connecticut jurisdiction. But maybe we wanted to include related federal content, so we can incorporate the appellate circuit or federal courts. You can select include related federal, and that will just check off the related federal sections here and the appellate circuit to include in your search. But for our example today, I will deselect the related federal and just leave it here with Connecticut and hit apply. And then next to our jurisdictional menu, we've got our general search icon here. Very easy to use your mouse to click this to run your search after you've entered information into the general search bar. However, you can also just type into this search bar and use the enter button on your keyboard to run your search as well. And then another Vincent AI tool, same as this one over here. And then the account drop-down menu. So you can adjust a few settings here. We've provided you the ability to adjust your language settings. So if English isn't your first language, you can adjust that here. You can manage your account generally, but then you can also manage your alerts. So I'll show you how you can create search-specific alerts to stay updated on any time new material is added to our platform that falls within your search criteria. So a great way to stay updated on information that you're interested in. Now, under our alerts here, we have the ability to stop history tracking. And this is just an added level of security to the platform. So say we didn't want to track any of the information we're searching for a specific session, you can omit that from tracking by clicking the stop history tracking button there. And then our terms and conditions and privacy policy here for you to reference as well. And also the ability to return to Fastcase 7. So if you have saved searches or saved information in the Fastcase 7 platform, we wanted you to be able to access that information throughout the transition period. But I did want to mention that access to Fastcase 7 will be turned off in the future. Now, we don't currently have a set date on when access to that platform is going to be cut off, but for the time being, you will have the ability to return to Fastcase 7. However, all of you here are committed to learning the new platform since you've joined us today. So thank you for being here and learning in the new vLex Fastcase platform. All right, so that was our navigational bar and our top bar here. And we'll go ahead and move into our home page now. And I'm going to begin with our card section here up at the very top. And this is just a great way for us to send notifications to you, make you aware of specific tools and trials that you have access to as Connecticut Bar members. And one of those tools that I wanted to highlight in depth is our vLex for Word plugin tool. And this is a great tool to incorporate into your research practice or just your drafting practice. If you're citing and using Word for drafting your documents, you can add the vLex for Word plugin tool straight to your Microsoft Word application. And what that will allow you to do is link any citations in the document straight through to our vLex Fastcase platform here. And that is nice because then you can reference other parts of the case that you may want to cite to, or maybe someone has sent you a document in Word and you've come across a case or citation that you're not quite familiar with. You can easily click on that link that will take you to our vLex Fastcase platform here, so you can rely on a primary material to expand your research and understanding on topics. And that's actually not all that it provides. The vLex for Word plugin tool will also provide you with a list of all the citations that are recognized by the tool, and that will provide any known treatment information as well. So if a case has negative treatment to it, our search citator tool, which we'll take a look at once we get to our search results page, will also be referenced there next to the case name. So you can rest assured that any sort of negative treatment to a case you're citing to, you'll at least have, you'll be aware of that. So underneath our card section here is our personalized news feed. And this is just another way we wanted to customize the account to bar members specifically so they can receive news on information that's specific to their practice area or their interest area within law. And to edit the information that populates here to adjust your news feed, what you can do is click on Edit Your vLex to select the different smart topics that are populated down at the bottom of these articles. So similar to social media hashtags, these will, if you click on these, that will bring up a list of additional content that falls under that jurisdiction or practice area and allow you to explore those other news articles. But to edit that, let's just click Edit Your vLex, which takes us to our Smart Topics page here. And right now we only have Connecticut selected, but maybe we wanted to incorporate some additional practice areas. Maybe we're involved in patent law. What we can do is just use the slider here after we've searched for a practice area to include that in our Smart Topics categories. or maybe it's environmental law. It's as easy as typing that information into the search bar here and then using the sliders. And I did want to note here, if you come across any that are not populating as smart topics and you would like to see them as an option, please let me know, and I'll relay that information over to our team so we can work on incorporating that in the future. Now, I also wanted to highlight here on the right-hand side, we will send you a weekly or daily digest email with that customized news information. So if you're receiving emails from us currently and you're not entirely sure why, it may be because of this setting here. So make sure you come in and adjust these accordingly. But if you do adjust them, just make sure you update preferences down here at the bottom, so that will save. But we'll go back to our homepage here. And you can see now I've started to populate that news information that we added to include for smart topics. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and jump into a general search. And I'm going to keep it quite broad for our topic. And I'll begin by just typing some general information into our general search bar here. And as you can see, when I'm typing information, it will provide me with some suggested searches and some suggested documents. So we can click right into either the document level or go right into the search results page fitting our criteria if it's populated. However, I don't see what I'm looking for, so I'm going to continue typing here. And we will just search generally for statute of limitations under the Connecticut jurisdiction and hit the search icon to run this search. All right, so now that we've ran that search, I wanted to highlight how many results we've actually returned. So, 14,000 plus results, that's quite a lot of results. So let's start to identify some of the ways where you can narrow your search results down a little bit further. So underneath the search bar here and underneath the, it will provide you with the search that you've ran right here underneath that. But then underneath that, we have the ability to search within the results that we've already populated. So specifically, the 14,000 plus documents here, we can start to narrow down this content a little bit further. We can add terms here and actually even use Boolean operators. So maybe we wanted to omit information from populating having to do with torts. We can use a not Boolean operator followed by the term. And that will omit any information that included the word tort in my search results. So knocked off a few thousand there, brought us down just over 12,000. So again, just very easy to add additional terms to help get a little bit more specific and granular with your research results. Now continuing down on the left-hand side, we have our content libraries listed. So right now, all of the content that falls within this criteria for Connecticut jurisdiction, we've got 12,700, but maybe we're only interested in populating the cases. So that takes us down to 9,000, and you'll see next to each section that information that populates there, how many results are under each content library. And then you can even reference secondary information here as well. Now you can also adjust your jurisdiction. So if you didn't select the correct jurisdiction when you first ran your search, you can easily do so here down at on the left-hand side under select more jurisdictions. That just opens up our window again here for us to adjust that jurisdiction or deselect any of the jurisdictions that are already populated. And since we have cases highlighted currently, it also is providing us with the option to select a specific court we want to find information out of. So say we only wanted to find information from the superior courts, we could select that here, or the Supreme Court or Court of Appeals. Just type in, if you don't see what you're looking for, which court, and that will, but you can also just generally scroll down here to find the different courts. And then even further than that, maybe you only want to pull information from specific authorities. You can add your list of cited authorities here to include in your research, and that way you know any of the materials that are being populated are pulling from your specific authorities section. Then at the bottom here, we've got the ability to adjust our date range. You can click on the search for exact date if you didn't want to use our date slider to enter exact date information, or hit the range of dates there to enter that in manually. But you also can just use the sliders generally here to adjust the date range you're looking for information out of. And I did want to mention that you should be careful whenever you're doing this, because once you release your mouse, it will automatically update the results. So just be aware of that. As soon as you let go of the slider there, it'll automatically populate new results. All right, so we began our search with a general search here at the top using the general search bar, but maybe we wanted to dive a little bit deeper with this search. We have provided you with the ability to take any search that you've already began working on and move that to an advanced search. So if we wanted to take this information that we've used here and move that into an advanced search, instead of clicking on the advanced search icon here, that would allow us to begin from the starting point. So if we wanted to start a new search, you can click here. But if we wanted to move our search that we've already started on over to the advanced search page, you can scroll down to the bottom of the left-hand side here and move this search into an advanced search page. All right, so now you can see we're highlighted on the advanced search page. Up at the top, it also lets us know we're here on the advanced search page, and then it's followed by your jurisdiction. So an important aspect of legal research, you want to make sure your jurisdiction is correct. And then it moves into content library here. And this is, I wanted to actually highlight this very quickly. Say you are just looking for finding Connecticut specific cases, and not in a specific date range, but just any of the most recent cases that have been added to our platform. What you can do is come in here to advanced search, select the Connecticut jurisdiction if it's not already selected, select cases, and then without typing any information in, just run your search. Well, it still was capturing our date range here, so I apologize for that. But here we go. So now it's populated by the most recent list of cases all the way up till today. But we'll go back to our advanced search here and continue on. Now, under content library is a words category, and these are advanced operators that we can utilize to manipulate our search results. But before I break this section down and how we can utilize that, I also wanted to mention that since we're on cases here, underneath the words section is some additional information that we can use to help us find that key material that we're looking for in the search results. So if you have the case name or court or any additional information that may be relevant to help the platform locate the result you're looking for, you can enter that information in the bottom section here. Now, this is not required, so don't feel like you have to enter any information into this section to run your search. As I just showed you, you could even leave out any of the words information and just search for Connecticut cases generally. But then maybe we wanted to change this to statutes rather than searching for cases. If we come back down to the bottom section here, you'll notice that it is now changed to incorporate the different content library and key information that we can search for that information in. But we'll go back to cases here, and I'll move now into the words category. So these are the advanced operators that we can utilize in the advanced search page, and a lot of these are also easily searched for with the general search bar, as long as you have the advanced operators, which I'll just quickly, if you hover your mouse over the question marks next to advanced operators, you can find a list of those advanced operators and Boolean operators that you can utilize in the platform here. But we'll begin with all the words. So this is an AND search. If you're familiar with Boolean operators, this just allows you to search for any of the terms that you've entered into this section. And as long as those words, all of those words are included in a document, they will populate as a relevant search result. So this would allow us to search for the word statute and limitations or limitation. And if that was included in our document, that would populate as a relevant search result. Now, maybe we're looking to get even more specific than that. We can go down to the exact phrase and just make sure your spellings are correct here, because if you use the exact phrase, that will populate only information that includes, and it doesn't have to be a phrase, it can be a term too. So if you just wanted to put a term here or a phrase, you can use that. And your relevant results will only populate that if they include this exact phrase. And then we have words in proximity. So this allows us to search for additional terms that may be nearby other terms that we've already added. So for our example here, if we wanted to leave statute of limitations as the exact phrase, but then maybe we wanted to find some information, we wanted to populate the word malpractice either 20 terms before or after that exact phrase, you could do so using the words in proximity search. And this does currently allow you up to 20 terms. So as long as that word is within 20 terms of statute of limitations phrase before or after that, it will populate as a relevant search result. Now, the next category down here are any word section. This is an or search. So with this section, you can add synonyms. So maybe you're not sure which term is used in a specific document. You can add those terms here so you're not omitting any information from populating when you're searching for it. And then we have an exclusionary search. So this is one of the examples I used earlier with the word not in all caps followed by the word torts. You can omit information here simply by adding that word to the exclusionary section, and that will omit any of the results from including the word tort. And quickly here, I'm going to run this search and then go back to our advanced search page. Because I wanted to highlight, if you recall, we used the exact phrase section and then the words in proximity search. But what it's done here is it's taken our search, what we created from here, and moved it into our advanced operators section. So if I were to copy this as it is here and put it in my general search bar, it would populate the exact same results as we did through the advanced search page. So this is just a great way to help you start learning which operators you can use to narrow your search results. All right, so before we jump back into the search results, let's take a look at creating search alerts. And to create a search alert, you can do that in a couple of different ways, but one of the easiest ways I found is through the advanced search page here. So down at the bottom, and apologies you can't see this, but this button says save as an alert. It'll be to the right of your search bar here on the advanced search page, and that will take the criteria that we've already added to our advanced search and create a search alert. It'll turn green and let you know that alert has been saved. And if we go to our account drop-down menu here and manage your alerts, as we referenced earlier in the presentation, that'll take us to our search alerts page where it'll have the description, again, with the Boolean operators listed here, followed by the jurisdiction, the content library we were searching, when that was created, and a couple of additional fields that you can adjust to your specific preferences. And if we wanted to edit this for any reason, we can adjust that a little bit to receive these daily, Monday to Friday, weekly, or monthly. And you can pause them or include historical results in your information. And this will only work if you've created a personalized account. So if you have an email address linked to the platform here, this is the only way you can set these up is if you have that successfully created. Now, you can also delete these. Maybe you didn't want to receive them anymore. You can just hit the delete button there and remove that from your search alerts. But you can also create these straight from the alerts page here by clicking new alert as well. And again, that can be accessed from your account drop-down menu and manage your alerts. But let's go back now and make sure we've got everything set up correctly. Advanced search, Connecticut jurisdiction, cases. We've got our advanced operators here. So we'll go ahead and run this search. All right, so a lot better than 14,000 plus results. We're down to 612 results. It's still a little bit more than I would like to have to go through to find relevant content. But as I mentioned, you can use the search in results bar to continue to narrow your search down or continue to manipulate your search here. Now, before I get into the results themselves, I wanted to highlight the tools here. So you have the ability to visualize the top 50 results that have populated in our list. And this will just put it in a graph for you based off of date and number of citations to that case. But then we can also create folders or add documents to folders. Maybe we wanted to add these 3 documents to a folder. We can click the checkbox next to the case and then add to folder. And if we don't already have a folder created, we can create a new folder here, and those 3 will log themselves into our folder section that we just created. And then again, another option to create an alert here, and then the ability to download the full document or a list of documents as well. So if we wanted to download the full documents here, we can use the full documents download, or a search listing. And the search listing may be helpful if you're working with a partner and you want to provide a starting point for them, a list of cases that may be relevant to your specific matter. All right, now moving into the search results themselves that we've populated, I wanted to show you how you can search or manipulate the results how they've populated. It will default to relevance, but you can choose to change this to most recent information, the oldest information, or the most cited information as well. And then getting into the cases themselves that have populated now, I wanted to highlight the search citator tool. So next to the case name, you may come across a treatment information, and this is our search citator tool. There's a few different treatment types, 3 specifically. One of them is a positive treatment type. So if you ever see distinguished with the yellow marker here, that just lets you know that case has been considered distinguished, and it lets you know where exactly that case was determined as distinguished. And then you can also access the cases that are citing to your case and the last time that it was cited to. So that's our positive treatment, the yellow, which has distinguished next to it. Let me see if I can find, there we go. So here is a negative treatment type. And this would look similar, as I mentioned, on the Microsoft Word tool. Next to the case name, it'll have this information listed there for you to know if it's no longer considered good law. Like for this example, Blanchett v. Barrett, the red indicator means it's overruled, but it could also be a vacated decision, reversed, or abrogated as well. So that's yellow positive, red negative, and orange, which I don't come across orange too often, so I doubt there will be any here, but that is question treatment types. So any of those decisions that may have been criticized or disagreed with, or someone may have declined to follow that specific opinion. Now let's go ahead and jump into this case here. I know we're getting a little short on time, and I want to provide as much opportunity for questions as possible. But now we are here on the document level, and similar to the search results page, you have the ability to search within this document. So what we can do here is enter key terms. If we've got a really big document, we can search for specific terms and find how many or where those are all listed throughout our document. And we provide a little bit of a paragraph for you so you can read that in context to where it is in the document. But then you can also jump right to that passage to continue reading into the additional sections. Now, under the search in this document, search bar there is our table of contents. So just generally navigation through the different sections of the document. Maybe we're only interested in the opinion for this case. You can click down into that section and that will take you right into the respective category. Now, moving into the document contents itself here, up at the very top, we've got our decision date, followed by the citation here, and any parallel citations. You can click to copy this to your clipboard. And then we've also provided the parties information, the docket number, and the court that this was heard in as well. Now, right underneath this section is our case analysis section, and we've incorporated this as part of your member benefit with the Connecticut Bar Association. So any case you go to, it should have a case analysis section. And this is an example of how we're harnessing the powers of our Vincent AI tool to summarize the information that is coming from the document here. So a great time saver. It provides you with the legal issue and head notes and even key paragraphs and phrases from within this document, so you don't have to read through it to find that key information. Now, speaking of key information, the key paragraphs here, I wanted to highlight that you can turn these on and off. And you'll notice over on the right-hand side of my screen, we've got these different colored shaded bars. The darker the color blue, it just references that that specific passage has been cited to more often. So the darker the color, like this one looks pretty dark, so we'll give that a click. And that will take us to the section where that lives in the document. And you'll notice I can actually click on this. And if we do so, oops, sorry. So we can click on the passage that we're looking for, and if it's cited in other cases that are recognized here in the platform, or not just cases, but other secondary materials as well. So if a secondary material cites to this specific passage that may be interesting to you, you can find where that has been cited across other cases and secondary sources by clicking on the section of the paragraph there. So a great way to expand your research. Now, getting into the organizational tools, I wanted to highlight that you can use your mouse here. So maybe we wanted to make a note or a highlight in the document level. What you can do is left click and drag your mouse over a specific passage. And once you release your mouse click, you will have the ability to make highlights, create a note, or even copy with the citation. So you can paste that outside of the document. But I also wanted to mention now that we've created a note here and made a highlight, it'll change colors here to this bluish green. And then any of your highlights and notes will actually live here under your table of contents section. So you can quickly reference any of those notes that you've created on a document level. And to clear these, all you have to do is hit the X button next to the note or highlight, and that will clear that from your document. All right, so quickly here, I wanted to highlight you can save documents as favorites. So if you're referencing a case or a document quite often, I would recommend adding that as a favorite. So just click the Save as Favorite button here. As I mentioned earlier, adding to folders, you can do that from the document level. The printing, and I also wanted to mention we are on the final stages of incorporating the dual column format as we had it in Fastcase 7. So hopefully we will have that update launched to you bar members very soon. So be on the lookout for the additional selection to be able to print in dual column format. But you can also include highlights and notes and adjust some of the font information as well. And then sharing, you can email the document straight from the platform here or the reference or to a reference manager, and even a public link too. So if you have a client you want to send this document to, you can send a public link to the page for them to reference and then download as well. And we have recently reintegrated the Microsoft Word download option as that was temporarily removed. You may have noticed that. However, it is back now, and we are able to download to Microsoft Word and to PDF. All right, so just quickly here, and then we'll get into some questions. The cited in information. So most of the documents will have two different sections here, both a cited authorities and a cited in tab. And let's actually go and see if I can get a case that has both of those. Here we are. So the cited authorities, this will list the case law and legislation that's cited to the specific case we're on. But then we're also providing the cited in information. So any of those cases that are citing to the case that we are researching will live here as well. And then the precedent map just takes those two sections, the cited authorities and cited in, and creates a visual representation for you. So the blue circle here allows you to, that represents our case. So in this matter, the Straw Pond Associates v. Fitzpatrick Mariano Santos case, that is the blue circle. So anything on the inside of that circle is going to be our cited authorities, which means anything on the outside is our cited in information. And you can click on these to see how they're citing to one another, to visually see how each of these cases are interacting. And then related is just an additional way we're harnessing the powers of Vincent AI to incorporate some suggested reading materials and information that may be relevant to your specific document. So just a great way to continue to expand your research and find relevant information. But with that, let's go ahead and jump to the folder section quickly, and then I will close this out here with the questions and contact information. So favorites, if we saved our document as a favorite, it will live here in the favorites folder. You can easily jump right to that document now. And even documents with marks. So if you made a note on any sort of document, that will also live here, and then the folder we created as well. Now, maybe we wanted to delete information from this. You can simply select whatever you wanted to delete and then use the trash bin here, and that will move it to your trash folder. But you can also recycle that back into the document or folder that it was living in by clicking the box in the trash folder next to the document and then hitting recycle, and that will move it back into your list. And that was the overview of vLex Fastcase. I know that was a lot of information, so I'm going to go ahead and move back to our presentation here, where I'm going to highlight our contact information and start to answer some of those questions that may have been posed throughout the webinar. But before I do that, just wanted to highlight again our support team's email, helpdesk-us@vlex.com. They're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. However, I'm sure they are hard at work, probably outside of these hours as well. They are doing a great job and continue to answer many, many questions with a lot of new members transitioning to the updated platform, similarly to your bar. And if you had any questions about upgrading your account access, you can reach out to our sales team here or give us a call to speak with one of our sales representatives about how you can upgrade that. But I'm also a resource to you, as I mentioned. I would love to get communication from you, any sort of feedback or questions about how to access certain information. I would love to help, so please don't hesitate to reach out. All right, so let's get into some of the questions here. Looks like an individual had some issue with the browse menu or browse button not populating in their menu. That is unique to your specific account, most likely. So if you want to send me an email, I'd be happy to research that and make sure your account is set up correctly. So feel free to reach out to me via email or to our support team as well. And then someone asked, where are Native American tribal laws and decisions? That is a great question. Let's go back to the platform here momentarily for that. and this may not be a good example. I'll have to play around with it, but I know you can find the tribal law information here. Let's see. And I apologize. I can't find this information, not in a live setting, but there is the ability to search for the specific tribal decisions and those specific courts in the platform that is available to you through your bar plan. Someone asked, in a standard search, does statute of limitations need to be enclosed in quotation marks to avoid cases that only contain limitations? For the most accurate results, I would suggest using the quotations and even for citations as well. So if you have a citation that you're trying to locate in the platform, you can also use the citations, or excuse me, the quotations around the citation, and that will make sure that you're populating that case as it is in fullness. So you can make sure that full citation is referenced so you can find the most accurate citation there. Someone asked if a copy of the session will be uploaded anywhere. Yes, we will. This has been recorded and it will be made available for you, and it'll actually be sent via email to you after we have made some marketing edits to that. So we do have some general forms here in the platform. Some of these are not included in your bar plan. You can explore which one of those you can access by navigating through the browse here. But a lot of the United States forms, you can access those as part of your plan level. So just explore as you will to find that information. And if it's not included in your plan, you can actually choose to subscribe to that content or upgrade to that content as well. And then, lastly, I know we're getting right to the very end of the presentation here. I did want to mention that you can upgrade your account outside of the Vincent AI platform. So if you wanted to include like briefs, pleadings, motions, and order content to your plan, you can do that. That is a separate upgrade subscription. You would be able to do that by contacting us and letting us know you want to include the docket alarm content, which it offers a collection of over 700 million case filings across state and federal trial courts. So you have sample motions, filed briefs, complaints, and even non-final orders from judges on procedural motions as well. So a lot of great content to include, especially if you're involved in litigation, right here on the vLex Fastcase platform. But any additional questions? I know that wasn't a whole lot of time to get to those. As I mentioned, please feel free to reach out to me via email, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. But with that, I will go ahead and close it out by thanking you all for taking the time to join us today, and have a great rest of your afternoon.